the co-host?
Yes. I think you can do it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'll do so. I'll do so. I'll just co-host. I think we are done now. Okay. So agenda as per these slides for now will be like as I said, we'll first. Okay, recording has started. So we'll first go today. We'll first go through the general structure of the degree level courses. We'll answer a few general questions which you might feel different while going from a diploma to a degree level, like the difference in the patterns of learning. We'll also talk about the course types, their difficulty. We'll present some feedback forms as well from like live feedback will be given by us, people who have done these courses here. And we'll also just go into a very brief discussion about NPTEL credits, how does all that happen, and then these apprenticeship credits, which if someone here can explain, it would be good. But it's also a concept which exists for credit transfer into degree level. So firstly, I'll just start. So there are five mandatory courses inside of BSc degree level. So the program after a diploma, yes. So uh, the program after diploma is technically you have these two levels, and being a BSc and BS level. BSc level as such has five mandatory courses as shown on the screen. These are AI search methods for problem solving, deep learning, strategies for professional growth or SPG, SE, which is software engineering, and ST, which is software testing. So we might end up using many abbreviations for courses. They are very longer names. So you can either read them off a list or you can ask in between if you don't understand some abbreviation. And yes, there and once like apart from these five mandatory courses, there is no clear segregation between BSc or a BSc level, BSc or BS level courses. You just have to fulfill the credit requirement of 142 credits. So, and these are 28 credits in each level, and we'll go through them very shortly. So, will be the remaining nine courses instead of eight. Sahil, I don't understand currently what you mean complaining remaining eight leftovers are
So
NPT.
we are talking about credits here. I think we are not talking about courses. These are
Yes,
credits.
yes, yes, yes. These are just credits. So basically, if there are 28 credits that you have to complete. So with AI, with these five mandatory courses of 4 credits each, you'll end up having 20 credits, which is mandatory to do inside of BSc level for completing that. And then you have just 8 credits to complete, and then these 8 credits can come from two electives or transferring some 4 credits from NPTEL technical subjects into BSc level, or like along with one elective that can be transferred into your BSc level credits. And then you can complete these 28 credits and then move on to uh, BS level. Yes, as Rahul has written in the chat. Let me move on to the next one. Okay, so and yes, obviously, then there is always an option for exiting with BSc. So if you guys have planned that out, you can just complete your 28 credits and exit the degree with the BSc, or like other people can continue to BS to complete the next 28 credits to get the BS degree. So firstly, like the most distinctive thing that you guys might feel when you enter degree level is like the fuss about course selection as a whole, because there are a lot of electives, and they will keep on increasing as the degree moves forward. So yes. So the number of electives is already past like 25, so it is at 28, 29, and it will keep on increasing in the future as well. So apart from the mandatory courses, you and these courses electives that you do to complete your BSc, then you move on to BS, where there are some other special requirements that have been introduced as of September uh, 2024 term, like as of today, which you have to complete. So there are course levels inside of BSc degree level courses or electives. These are level 3, level 4, and level 5 courses. These are done supposedly like as measures of difficulty these courses carry. And there is a course category, like in diploma, you have a diploma in programming courses and diploma in data science courses. Similar to that, we have courses in the categories of BD, BP, and HM. So they being programming courses, data science courses, and humanities courses. Uh, I'll just move ahead, and it will start getting clearer sooner or later. So there are mainly leaving aside the HM courses, there are two main categories of courses which become mandatory to complete in BS level, specifically two courses from each category. So there are mandatory programming courses, BP programming courses, two of which you have to complete the BS level, and these all have to be level 4 courses. Uh, and also there are BD courses which are mandatory data science courses. Again, you have to complete two of them to complete your BS level once you go past the BSc level. And then obviously there are level 5 courses, which again are the like this is the maximum level of courses as of now, and these are the most difficult ones. And we'll show the list of all these courses. So these have newer courses like LLMs, Introduction to NLP, and similar courses. Deep learning for computer vision is also one of them. So we'll go through them shortly, like individual courses as well. So just stick around a little bit. So yes, so there are four mandatory courses in BS, and there is also one more condition which you have to complete is 4 credits have to mandatorily or compulsorily come from your HM category, that is your humanities and humanities management sort of category. We'll also show which courses are there which fulfill those categories. So technically, then you have these 5 loosely mandatory criteria to complete your BS as well. They are not as stringent as in BSc, but these are you have to surely complete these, like 2 level 4 BP courses, 2 level 4 BD courses, and 4 credits from HM category. These can come from the IIT-M BS electives as well, or you can transfer them from NPTEL as well. So there are different ways to complete it. I'm just giving the overview for now, and then we'll move on to the specifics of all of this. Um, so it says no, you also need to complete at least 4 credits from, yes, so we talked about this. These can come from your in-house core electives in IIT MBS. We'll show you the whole list of courses like in the next slide or so. And then so these 28 out of these 28 credits that you have as we already discussed, two BP and two BD courses would make 16 credits. So once you subtract that, you are left with 12 more credits to complete. and out of these you also need four management your HM credits, which makes it 8 credits more to complete then. And those 8 credits then can also be completed from your apprenticeship as well. So we will talk about that later. So one, if you secure a apprenticeship and you manage to like once IIT-M approves that, you can you have a whole system where a reporting manager sends your reports from the company into IIT-M, and there's a whole system for that. For X number of months, you get some 4 credits. For some other 8 month apprenticeship, you get a higher number of credits, and there's a whole different section for discussion for apprenticeships as well. And I'll talk about NPTEL just very briefly as well. So regarding NPTEL, there are two places where NPTEL credit transfer actually comes into IIT-M BS. So as we talked previously, there is a chance of transferring 4 credits from technical NPTEL courses into BSc level, and there is a mandatory, and those are optional. So NPTEL transfer into BSc level is optional. You need not worry about that if you are newly joining into a degree level right now. And there is a mandatory HM 4 credit requirement at BS level, which can be completed via NPTEL credits as well. So if you are looking to complete the degree earlier, or you have those if you are in some sort of a hurry or something like that, NPTEL can be obviously done side by side with your current courses. So there is a whole list and a whole guide, sort of an email which is sent out by IIT-M just before NPTEL credits are like NPTEL course registration start. So there is a HSMG course list, which they are basically arts and humanities and management courses which you can do from NPTEL. And so the credit transfer of this happens almost automatically, because if you do these approved courses which are sent to you as a list by IIT-M, and then they are directly visible on your student dashboard, since you have to register for these NPTEL courses with your student ID itself, and they have their own internal system where these reflect automatically on your IIT-M BS student dashboard. But there is a catch here. Our own system works as a trimester system. So we have these January, May, and September terms. But NPTEL only works in 2 terms throughout the year, more like a semester system. So they have their own January to April term, and they have their July to October term. So these are the only 2 terms which exist for NPTEL, and the registrations for these start 1 month before these terms start. So for January term, these registrations will start in December. So if you plan on doing some NPTEL courses, you have to start registering in December this year itself. You will receive an email from IIT-M team for this. And for July, it's quite far away, but still you will have an email of with the directions in June itself. And the credit transfer timelines for these different terms varies because of some result calculation things which happen at the back end operationally. So all the courses that you do in the January to April term for NPTEL can only be credited into the BS program by September, and all the courses that are completed by in the July term can be transferred into IIT-M BS in January term itself. So if somebody had completed their NPTEL end terms in the July to October cycle, they can transfer. These courses will be available for credit transfer during the January term course registration on your portal itself. and you have to pay, like, the default fees is 1000 per credit from NPTEL to be transferred into IIT-MBS. So if you are doing a 4 credit transfer from NPTEL into IIT-MBS, then you have to pay 4000 rupees.
Kunal, can you just go
So,
back to the previous slide? Just want to mention one point.
yes, yes.
Yeah, so I don't know if there are many students who have this condition, but earlier there were projects in the diploma level which were part of the theory course. So those students who completed the theory courses, including the projects, they had a credit deficit while they started off with their degree level. So in case there is anyone here, I don't know if we have such students here, but I'm just mentioning it for completeness sake. Credit, Sahil, are you part of that group? Do you have any credit deficits?
Yes, I have one credit
Exactly.
deficit.
Exactly. So there was a confusion earlier regarding whether NPTEL credits can be, used for credit deficit or anything. This point, I have just put in this point here in the slide just to, make it explicit. Please don't think of it in terms of fulfilling any deficit per se. Just think of this in terms of the number of credits you can transfer at max. So in total, you can transfer up to 8 credits from NPTEL, 4 in the BSc level and 4 in the BS level. That is it. How you think of it internally, like whether it is fulfilling some deficit or otherwise, that is a different thing. Just keep in mind that you can transfer up to 8 credits max, and that is about it. So just up to 8 credits, and that's it. So don't try to confuse with the NPTEL credit transfer with some credit deficit. Yeah, I think we can proceed, Kuda.
Yes, yes, yes. So mainly, as Pritodi mentioned, it is mainly just for each level. It is only required that once you cross the credit thresholds, while staying obviously in the rules and guidelines for these NPTEL transfers as well. So BSc level is considered completed when you reach 114 credits with their guidelines in mind, and when you reach 142 credits, your BS level is considered complete.
Okay.
So I'll just,
Yeah, we can deny him, right? Uh,
yes, yes, you can, because we only need student IDs to be joining.
Correct. Correct. Yeah, I'm denying that. Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, so this is the whole. Uh, so now we can start with the very specific courses once we have these guidelines out of our way. Uh, okay, can we just invite him and ask him to join with the student?
I did
Okay.
denied it. Sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, no problem. If he does it again, we can allow him.
Eventually, he'll come around to his student ID. Don't
Okay,
worry.
okay, okay, no problem. So yes, so this is what we are talking about, and once you enter degree level, you need to learn how to, like, process these abbreviations, and like this table. I hope this remains consistent. You need to be sure how to, like, read this whole thing in your degree level, especially. So at the very left ID is the course ID, which uh, doesn't matter right now a lot, but we can get into that later. The major things which you need to first read is these things. The second column, which is the course level, which becomes very important as you move into the degree level. So if it says only degree, it means it is a level 3 course. The course is considered as a level 3 course. If it says level 4, L4 underscore degree, which means it is a level 4 course. And currently there are 4 level 5 courses, which is introduction to NLP, deep learning for computer vision, large language models, and deep learning practice, which are uh, like deep learning practice being the newest addition. So these are 4 level 5 courses. And then later, obviously, you have these course names, and then you have these course types. Again, this is also very important, because as we already talked about it at the starting, you have 5 core courses which need to be complete. These 5 ones at the very top, these need to be completed in the as part of BSc level only, mandatorily. And there are some conditions as well, like I'll just put in a very short note about this, that these five mandatory courses you need to complete first. Only then you can start taking or think about taking electives in the BSc level
No,
itself.
your cursor is not visible. So if you're pointing out to something specific, we can't see that.
No, no, no. I was just speaking over. So, like, I'm
Yes.
just talking about these five courses. So, these five courses need to be complete before you can start taking these electives in BSc level also. So, we have these core course pairs basically. The first one is the software engineering and software testing pair, which we discussed in the starting. Then we have this AI and deep learning course pair, which we also discussed in the starting. And then we have this strategies for professional growth course. Uh, these five courses need to be complete. So I'll just take a very small case, and we can discuss any specific case later. So let's assume I am taking three courses in one term for a degree level, and I can, so the way which I'll be doing courses in BSc level would be, say, in the first term I can take software engineering, AI, and strategies for professional growth. But I cannot take any other course from the this whole list here in the first term, because I have not completed the mandatory courses. Then in the next term, once I have completed, say, the software engineering, AI, and SPG, then I can proceed to take this deep learning, software testing, and other electives, which then I can take other elective from this whole list below. So this is one regulation which you have to keep in mind, especially for the people starting their BSc level right now. So you have to complete this mandatory courses, and once you have completed these in your first term, basically, then from the next one, you can take elective courses, given that your current selection plus all previous selections cover these mandatory courses as a whole. And then you can move ahead with selecting all these electives. And yes, one last thing is that we already talked about this. There are these BD, BP courses, which means the BD means like the data science courses, which are required for your BS level BD criteria completion, and BP courses for your programming criteria completion in BS level. And we have this HM criteria completion as well, which you can see from here. So whichever course here says HM can be used to complete or fulfill your HM criteria in BS level as well. So, for example, doing managerial economics in and crediting it later can is sufficient to complete your 4 credit HM criteria at BS level. And all other things, including this part, is becomes very important in degree level as well, because all your courses, all electives are not available throughout the year apart from these mandatory courses. So whenever you are entering the degree level or planning for these courses, you have to very well check the course availability for this specific term, or say if you are planning 1 year ahead, so for all these ones in January, May, and September, you have to confirm all of this. So if I'm planning to take say financial forensics, and I want to do it in May 25 term, I cannot do it. It says no here. In very rare cases can this availability change from yes to no or no to yes, but we will get into all of that later. And then obviously there is this course fees. So it is also decided based on the level of courses usually.
But in
um,
short, kind of like, Kunal, if I may add, if
yes,
you're
yes, please.
just into the degree level, don't think about anything at all. Just think about the five subjects that are in bold, the top five subjects, 1 to 5: software engineering, testing, AI, deep learning, SPG. Just think about these subjects, take a combination of these, and after that you can think about anything else. Right now nothing else is your headache. And for people in the second term of the degree, if you're looking for electives, which electives to take, what to do, what not to do, then you can start asking questions at a later stage. And for people already in BS, I mean, we'll we'll get to it at a later stage. But for people who are just getting into degree, just don't cloud or populate your mind with any other subjects, because there's nothing else you can do. You have to do the core first.
Yes, so like you can only, you should only think about all of these this larger list once you are in the BS level, and not before that a lot, or like as Rahul mentioned, after you do all of these mandatory courses, and only then, because only you cannot even select these before you complete these mandatory courses.
Okay,
So I guess,
sorry, one
yes.
more point. Since we are talking about this, there might be people who wish to speed run through the degree. The trick is to do NPTEL courses in the very first term. If that is something you want to do, if you want to go through some hardcore BSc life, then yeah, you can take up NPTEL courses. IIT-M does not restrict you from taking up NPTEL courses anytime, so that is one freedom that you have.
But you have this 1 year validity, right? So if for these
Yeah.
for these NPTEL things, so once you do it, make sure, like whenever your NPTEL credits show up in your course registration, just blindly like transfer them as soon as possible, as soon as they show up in your dashboard. Like that is one more tip for NPTEL transfer, if you guys are going for that. I think now we can move on to more uh, course based
Hmm.
like specific discussions. If you guys want to start, anyone here, you can start about AI, DL, software engineering, or software testing. I'll drink a little bit of water.
Yes. Until then, if anyone has any questions till now, then I guess they can ask.
Yes, yes, we can take them as well.
Yeah, let us take up the questions first. Any of the
If
any
there's
ops
any,
related questions, that how many credits and so forth. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Gayatri,
Gayatri.
go ahead.
I had a doubt regarding we need to complete two BD and two BP courses, level 4 courses for the BS level. So these courses labeled as HM/BP, are those okay for those mandatory requirements?
That is fine. Given what you want to categorize them under. So for BS, I don't know if you're in BS level or not. You need two subjects of level 4 and above on BP, two subjects on level 4 and above for BD. Now subjects which are categorized as, say, there's game theory, fourth from last, that is HMBD. It means you can take that subject and get it categorized in either the HM category or the BD category according to your own needs. The same goes for the other subjects with two course types, like you can see design thinking, industry 4.0, financial sciences. It's up to you however you want it. That's it. That's
And
applicable.
one more clarification here. You need not do anything specifically to categorize them per se. It's just that IIT-M takes care of these fulfilling these requirements at their end. So, for example, if you have already done two BP and two BD, somehow like some other way, and you have an HM 4 credit course left over that you need to fulfill, and let's say then you take up game theory and strategy, IIT-M will automatically take that to be an HM course and fulfill your HM requirement. So you just
Yeah,
mentally you
you have
just
to take a note of it on your own. I mean, you don't have to do explicitly anything else about it.
right. You like, it's not like during registration you have to tell them, "Okay, I'm doing it for HM or I'm doing it for BD." Nothing like that.
Okay, understood. And one more question. We need to complete 28 credits to complete the BSc level. So I will be left with 4 credits after taking the core courses and NPTEL course. So that remaining 4 credits can be fulfilled by any course type, right? HM, BP, or
Anything,
BD.
anything
Any,
does not
any
matter.
anything
Okay.
from course number 6 to the end with DL practice, any one of them will be enough.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was it.
Yes, Shreya, go on.
So I wanted to know, like in the subject strategies for professional growth, it is written like the group project, but nothing has been mentioned really about it. So will the group be made by ITM, or like we have to decide on our end?
You can do it on your own, or otherwise, if you don't find a group, they'll make one for you.
Okay, okay, okay.
And
Thank
the
you.
details about the project will be shared after week 4 or something, if I'm not wrong.
Okay, and is there any timeline like for we have to complete it within a week, or like what?
You have to
Anything?
complete it before your end term ends or something. A week before the end term is when the deadline was for me. But then
Okay.
I did the SPG project in September term last year. Anyone who has done it recently may be able to say it
Hmm.
better. But it generally stays like that. Shamsa doesn't change much of it.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Okay, I think we can move on with the courses.
Yeah,
Kunal, are you
yes,
back?
yes, we can. Yes, yes, I am back. We can move on.
Okay, Nikhil. Yeah, Nikhil, you go on. Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi, Nikhil.
Yeah, good evening. My question is, I've just cleared the subjects AI, deep learning, SPG, and SE, uh, and also completed two NPTEL courses as well. One is cloud computing and social networks. How many credits I can transfer now? This
So,
second time of
cloud,
the
cloud computing and social networks are both 3 credit courses, right?
yeah.
So they add up to 6 credits. You can transfer only up to 4. So out of 6,
Okay.
they will take only 4. Since they are both from table 2, they are both department electives, only 4 credits you can take up.
Yeah, and I
So this
can
is, yeah, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
take one elective this term, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's enough for the completion of BSc.
For BSc, that is enough. Now, if you want to push for BS, you can take more.
Yeah, yeah,
But
thank
you
you.
did not mention ST, software testing. Did you take software testing?
I will take this term.
Okay, so software testing and one more electives then.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
So I think this point needs to be clarified. So the NPTEL courses have 1 credits, 2 credits, or 3 credits, depending on the duration: 1 month, 2 month, 3 months. So at max you can transfer up to 4 credits. So if your total number of credits go beyond that, only 4 will be taken from amongst those. So personally, what I did was I just did two courses with 2 credits each. So I did 2 2-month courses. So that is how I did it. But you can do it either way. You can take 4 1 credit courses, 3+1, 4+ anything. Yeah. So up to 4 credits is what can be transferred from each table.
Since, since we are on this topic, I'll just add one more thing. NPTEL exams are like they cannot be scheduled for more than one course in one slot. So what happens is if you are taking say two credit courses, and say you have an exam which is clashing with your quiz one, say, or quiz two rather.
Quiz two.
So
Yeah.
yes, quiz two. So what will happen is in that case, if you cannot and since one slot is already occupied by your quiz two exams, they can at max schedule one a 2 credit NPTEL exam on the same day in the forenoon slot, because most of our exams happen most like almost 90% now happen in like the
Afternoon slot.
afternoon slot only. There's only end term which happens in forenoon. So you need to then if this clash is happening, like it is they released a form right now, so you need to fill that form and they will try to accommodate your 1 credit or two credit exam, whatever, in the forenoon slot for the same day that the clash is happening in. So when you take such courses, and you cannot have definitely have 3 NPTEL exams on the same day. If you register for two, then they will split it into one exam for one term, one slot, and they will let you give two exams on that day. So this is what happens usually. They will schedule just one exam for one slot. So that is what I had to add. So like, be sure to have this in your mind. If you are doing, say, um, uh, when you select these courses, be sure to check their exam dates, and make sure, like, keep your first priority to be that these courses should not clash with quizzes. And if they do, then you make sure that you don't have more than one course that day, so that they can directly put it in your forenoon slot for the same day. One thing to make sure regarding NPTEL credit, so that you don't get stuck up at the end.
Thank you very much.
In
Uh,
short, बाद में रोना नहीं. And another
Correct.
trick is, another problem is, I mean, I won't say it's a problem. The NPTEL exams generally clashes with the quizzes. So if you have quiz on Sunday, it will be on the Saturday, one day before, either quiz or end term. So it gets a little bit difficult. So it's better not to burden yourself with a lot of NPTEL subjects in the same term, that is.
Yeah, okay. Karthik is asking a very pertinent question here. What are the credits for each level 4, level 5? Is it same? So the number of credits is exactly the same. Those are 4 credit courses. As a matter of fact, all in-house elective courses, or all courses that you take up from here, except for maybe system commands and TDS, they are all 4 credit courses. So what happens is that credit level differs. So there is a difference between level 3 credit versus level 4 credit or level 5 credit. But the number of credits that each subject gives is exactly the same. So all of those L4 courses, L5 courses, or even L6 courses, those will all give you 4 credits.
So like, sorry to interrupt. So in the 114 credits, how many L4s, how many L5s? Is there like a particular
No,
thing?
within 114 you don't need. So that is the thing, right? BSc 114, 114 is for BSc level. You need not worry about
Oh,
L4, L5, any of that. BSc level only
okay.
requires you to complete the 5 core courses and then like do whatever you want, essentially to get 114 credits.
Okay, so the first 5 are mandatory for BSc. So you get 20 from that, right?
Correct. Yeah, exactly. That was our first slide, I believe. So 20
Yeah,
from
yeah,
that,
yeah. And the rest
and the
8 from
remaining,
NPTEL.
no, not from NPTEL, and the rest 8, however you wish to do, with the
Okay.
criteria that you can transfer up to 4 from NPTEL. So you can do
Okay,
2
up to 4.
Rahul already mentioned that. Yeah, up to 4 from NPTEL from each table.
Okay.
Yeah,
Can we
Kunal, we can
move
go ahead.
on to, yes, we can move on to subject specific things right now, or like, we'll come back to this table later. I can share this course feedback and all this sort of things later. Like, this is some 70 to 80 students who gave their feedback on courses. This is, we can start with each of these courses. So, Pritodeep, Rahul, or someone, can you just cover these core courses in the starting, like just a very brief overview of these courses?
Yeah.
Pitadeep, start.
Sarthak, okay, you want me to do it? I think
Yeah, you
someone who
do
has
it.
already done all should be doing it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll just go
Yes.
for the SPG,
Okay.
SPG, ST, all those part.
Okay. So whatever you have done, you can tell that. And like, since
Right.
I haven't done SE and ST, so I cannot be clear about that.
Okay. So I'll just explain for AI. Other parts you guys can do. So this AI, the complete name of the course is Artificial Intelligence Search Methods from Problem Solving, AI SMPS. So it has no OPP, but there is an optional programming assignment for some bonus marks. So I think the very title slide says bonus marks are a rare occurrence. So yeah, this is one of the rare courses where you do have some bonus marks. So there is a bonus mark possibility for this. And then as far as the course itself is concerned, it's a great course. But the key point that I would say is practice assignment is what makes or breaks the course. So if you do the practice assignments, most likely you will get an S or at least an A. And if you don't do the practice assignments and you just go by the graded and the lectures, there is a high probability that you might not fare well. So that is just my personal feedback, because in other subjects you might feel that practice assignments are just for seeing the answers and getting bonus marks. But here the instructor has taken the effort to write down detailed solutions, like step-by-step solutions for all the algorithms that are covered in the practice assignment. So for example, if you have something like an A star algorithm, step by step what happens given a particular example the instructor has explained in the practice assignment solutions. So once you go through those, you will have a very clear idea of what the algorithm actually wants you to do. So yeah, the key takeaway from for me for this course was do the practice assignments. I would say to some extent they're even more important than the graded assignments.
Even more
So yeah,
important
I
than
think
that, Pritodeep, for AI, join the live sessions. Do whatever you
yes.
feel like, even if you're in the hospital, your head has broken, hand has broken, join the live sessions, because the professor Deepak Khewani joins the sessions, and there is Bhaskaran sir as well. He will teach you from scratch, letter to letter, word to word, and make sure that you understand the algorithms. And if you understand the algorithms, nobody can deduct marks. Nobody, not a single. If you have 100% clarity, you will never go wrong.
So
And
AI
it's
is one
not,
of those. Sorry, Rahul. Yeah, just complete your point. Sorry.
yeah, AI is actually very scoring. People are, a bit dicey about this AI thing. But if you join the live sessions, if you understand, see how many of algorithms are there, Preetadeep? There's about 8 algorithms max, right? Most of it we know already. BFS, DFS. There's A star, A, triple
Yeah,
A star,
weighted
alpha,
star.
beta, weighted A star,
Correct.
and a couple more. If you
Blocks
understand
world we have
these,
some towards the end.
those blocks and robots, that's a very easy concept. If you understand what's going on, it's not very difficult to figure it out. This is a very scoring subject. I mean, if you give effort into it, if you try to understand the algorithms, marks will not be deducted, which I cannot say for other subjects in degree level, because
Also,
other subjects are
also,
very dicey.
also two more points. Since you're talking about marks, Bhaskaran sir is, I think he's the only instructor till now whom I have seen that he is giving partial marks based on how much you have answered in the question in the quiz. So in case you have been able to solve an like almost till the last step you have solved it, but you missed out due to some minor reason, he will give you partial marks in the quiz if you can convince him of that fact. So that is one good point. And as Rahul said, AI is one of the few courses, one of the rare courses wherein you have the course faculty joining in regularly to the weekly live session. So Professor Khemani comes in, and yeah, you don't want to miss those live sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, that was AI. AI is very scoring. Of course, the recent term has very weird feedback that the paper has been very difficult. Now, I don't know what's the level of effort that people have put in the past term, but for me, I have done it 2 terms back. AI has been very helpful. I think Preetodeep, we did it together, right?
Yeah.
You were there in that
Yeah, we
course,
did it together. Yeah, yeah. September 23.
September 23. Yes. So that is what AI is. Now, when we come to DL, DL is a subject, whichever term you take it in, it's going to take about 70-80% of your studying time amongst all. So if you take 4 subjects, 70% will be based on studying DL, rest 30 will be based on the 3 subjects. So that is how time consuming DL is. It's not impossible. If you take it with 4 subjects, it's absolutely fine, but then you have to manage everything quite efficiently and given required effort. I do not know which one of you have given what kind of efforts in studying this degree, be it in foundation or diploma. But I believe diploma has been a well-deserved test for all of you who are coming in new. And if you have survived diploma properly, degree will be a piece of cake, because you know how to get good marks, you know how to manage things. But you have just glanced through diploma, degree could be a nightmare for you. So you have to manage things very carefully. Deep learning will take a lot of time. Back propagation will take a bit of time for you to understand. You may understand it, you may forget the next day. So that's another thing. And going through PYQ questions is very important. Getting conceptual clarity is very important, and attending live session is of course very important. The support for deep learning is good. Preetodeep, just go on.
No. I'll wait for your point to finish. Yeah, you continue.
Yeah. So like, the support is good in, see, and one more important point when it comes to BSc and BS, the support is not, I don't mind saying it on record because this is true. The support, as much as you have got for diploma level courses till diploma, it will start to shrink in BSc and BS. You'll get parts of it in BSc. In BS, it's almost like you have to put in the effort to get the support. It will not come up to you in a plate. That's the thing.
You have to support the
But
team to
DL has
support
an
it.
excellent.
Is how I would put it.
Yeah, you have to support the team to get the support actually. So yeah, DL will take most of the time. Yes, Preetadeep, go on.
Yeah, I just wanted to invite the other. So Sarthak and Hemant, can you also pitch in because you guys have also done DL, right? I hope. And if there are any other students who have done
So
DL who
here,
can provide feedback on the same, please raise your hands. We can take them up as well.
please help the others. But it's Sarthak
Sarthak,
and
Hemant, you want to
Hemant.
add
Hey,
anything?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There you
yeah,
go.
yeah. For
Yeah.
DL, I'll say Mitesh Kapra sir teaches so well, but he won't be able to solve anything in the quizzes. The quizzes will be like tough not to crack. Like you won't know the concept. You'll end up doing silly mistake. You will lose marks too often in the quizzes. So that's the only thing. You just need to pay on the like pay attention on the practical aspect of the DL, but looking into like more of mathematical thing like linear algebra thing. You need to calculate parameters and things. If you mess up over there, the whole course is messed up.
True.
Right. Hemant, you wish to add anything?
Yeah, so recently what I heard from feedback from my peers is that in DL, you cannot rely on past papers for quizzes and entrance. They changed the questions and the weightage as well. Previously, they used to give more numerical questions, but now they are asking more theoretical ones. So
Okay.
just
So whatever
go through
Himanshu
life
said
lesson
right
and
now
ask
is
that
not
question.
really valid.
Yeah, one
No, yeah,
feedback
Sorry.
I got from my peers is like if there were like some questions in end term to be specific, which were like it was taught on the fly by Mitesh sir, but it's not too focused in the lecture. But those were the question asked in the end term, irrespective like with the what do you say, Mitesh Kapra sir said to like focus on. So those questions were not asked. The least focused things were asked and picked up from the slides and asked in the end term. So that happened in the end term for this year.
Okay. Any more comments? Prishta, you want to add anything about DL? Anyone else? Kunal, I think we can move on if.
Yes, yes. No, like because I had completed these way back. So I wanted you guys to pitch in because like core courses, I don't know, like, it's been a long time. So
You did it in
and
September
these keep on
20.
22, yes, 22. So it's quite a long time. So um, that is why, and I would say one, like just one common thing for subjects like DL and like its successor, or like its level 2 version, which is LLM, like these sort of courses, you like these courses demand your fundamentals to be very clear. Like you cannot, in these courses it is impossible to like learn formulas or something like that and then go and ace your exams and quizzes. Like this might be true for some other courses or some other subjects where you might be able to do like some last minute study or that sort of a thing and like get good grades and a good score in your exam. But for a subject like DL, I would say it won't be possible. uh, so you would need a lot of understanding on some hand, like calculations by hand. Like at least you need to be clear with those things, like parameter calculation and those. Even if like numericals are not there, and if they're asked in GAs till now, then at least be clear with these concepts on at least how to calculate them, because the exact numbers or any formula sort of a thing won't work here. Yeah, like your logic does more, and your understanding for all these networks and parameters for those networks matters more than like the literal lecture understanding of these courses. um, can someone if someone has done software engineering and software testing, can you just very briefly go over these?
Yeah.
So
So
software engineering is like really
yeah, Sarthak, go ahead.
yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Software engineering like really course. You like it's a easy S course I would say. you can score as
Hmm.
4A.
We can't hear you clearly
Now,
though.
the tricky
Could you
component
speak a
over
bit
here
louder?
is
Yes, Sarthak, can you speak? Yes, yes.
wait. Just hold on a second. Is it clear now?
Yes, better.
Hello. Okay.
Yes, yes, much better. Yeah.
So this is an easy course. You can have S or A grade easily over here. The only tricky or difficult part is to work with a team. So this is the first course in the entire degree that will require you to, I would say, after SPG, because SPG too has a team component. This is the like real world kind of course where you are gonna manage your project. They're gonna give you some problem statement or some GitHub repo and tell you to build upon that or build from scratch. So you're gonna learn new softwares on your own, Jira and things, but it will give you like a real hands-on experience. Apart from that, the theory is really easy. Quiz one, quiz two. I guess there's no quiz two or something like that for this course. But that will be like really easy and you can just go through the lecture really quick for those, but apart from that the project is a mandatory thing and you have to go through it to get a good grade. That's all.
Like
And for software testing,
one addition in software engineering is that it used to be more difficult a couple of terms back, if I'm not wrong, because we had to build applications from scratch. So basically the project of software engineering was mat 2 project, but you know, industry style mat 2 project. Yeah? Like you have to document the test cases, you have to use Jira, you have to use Selenium, you have to use this, you have to use that which was not mandatory for um, others. I mean, mat 2. But nowadays it's like you have to implement one feature in addition to the already existing projects. That is how it has been for the past two terms, for the past two terms. So it's easy, and you'll get very easy marks from PYQs and GAPAs. That's the thing for SE. So it's a relatively lighter course. Yes. Now, Sarthak, please go on with testing.
yeah, software testing
Sorry,
is more
before
of
we move
like
on to testing,
non-practical course.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Sarthak, just 1 minute. Before we move on to testing, again, I wish to point out the fact that software engineering is one of the rare courses where you still have bonus marks. But the problem is they are not quote unquote bonus per se. They are included within the 100%. So if you don't do it, you lose out marks rather. So they call it bonus, but yeah, so there is some discourse activity that you need to take part in. So so what, don't make the mistake that many of us did think.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. LXT, LXL
So
ones.
they are called LXTs and LXIs, learner experience interactions and learner experience something. But yeah, those, so some of them require you to answer questions on the portal similar to graded assignments, and some of them require you to interact on discourse, explain about some features or do some work on discourse. They are not mandatory, but they're still within the 100% of the course. If you don't do that, you are essentially being graded out of 95. Okay, yeah, Sarthak, you can proceed. Sarthak.
Hello. My network's a bit unstable, so
Yeah, you can go ahead. Yeah.
hello, can you hear me now? Okay. So
Yes, we can hear you.
software testing is more of like, what do you say, a too much theoretical course, I would say. The only practical component is JUnit. That too is in first week. After that, you don't code anything. You just read the code and say, okay. That too from the first week only. You will be asked like more of like what's the error in the JUnit and thing. The entire paper will be based on different types of testing and the graph based testing and thing. That's the whole idea of the course, and that's the only thing regarding software testing. You gonna get bored listening to the lecture, I would say, but yeah, you have to.
Pralay Bishash, you wanted to add something, or is it a
Thank
question you have?
Hi, I have a question. About the deep learning course, how is it in comparison to machine learning testing, MLT, the difficulty level and
like
Yeah,
deep
Rahul,
learning is
Hemant.
Deep learning is like
Yeah, Kunal, go ahead.
one of the most difficult courses, I would say. Like it's one of the like on the more difficult sides, I would say. So more than MLT. I guess it's more than MLT, I would say.
Oh,
If yes, and as far as the syllabus comparison, if you're talking about that, then I think there was a change in MLT syllabus as well, right? Like
yeah,
4 or 5 terms ago.
yeah.
Yeah, I think he's talking
Yeah.
about the
So
updated one only with
can,
Professor Arun Kumar.
okay. Okay. You are you aware of that? You
Yes. I was in the updated syllabus.
okay?
I
No,
have
no.
done.
I'm asking Pritodeep. Pritodeep, if you are aware, you can elaborate like
Yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
the course
I am
specifics.
aware
But
of the updated syllabus, but I did not do DL yet, so there is a catch. Anyone who did that new MLT course along with the DL? Rahul, Hemant, any of you? Sarthak?
Nah, I did MLT back in 22
I did
January,
MLT,
actually,
the
when we
updated
had.
one. Yeah,
Sarthak, tell
so
them then.
difficult. I'll quote one chat that I recently encountered for LLM. So person asked like, is it the subject difficult? So I'll just quote, difficult will be an understatement. It's completely different course from MLT. So you can't actually compare over here. So that too had too much of mathematical component as compared to other previous terms MLT, and had a programming component as an optional part, OPP I guess. But DL is like completely different league, completely different teacher, completely different instructor. So I'm specifying on instructor because at the end the instructor will be setting up the paper. So
and and as I can see, like MLT course ends with ANNs and DL starts with ANNs. So like that is also one thing to know.
Okay. I think this much will be. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, let's move on.
Yes, thank you, brother. Like again, SPD and one more thing. Rather than like going all over these electives just one by one, can we just ask people to ask for specific electives if they want? Otherwise, how can like we will end up going through like 25 or 26 electives and it will take 1 more hour. So I
True,
think
true. Yeah, let's do that. Ganesh.
Arey,
yes.
Ganesh sir, welcome,
Yeah.
welcome.
Hey, Ganesh sir. Wow. Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
good evening. Good evening, guys.
Good
Yeah,
evening.
you are
Good
famous.
evening,
Good
sir.
evening.
Good evening. Yeah, I was interested in knowing about speech technology and large language model and DLCV. I'm still not able to decide which one to take first. I'm planning to take two of these, and of course LLM too. But LLM, some feedback I got. But these three, DLCV, speech tech, um, yeah, these two at least I need to know something.
Yeah, Sarthak, Hemant, Rahul, any of you? Prishta?
DLCV, like I have been saying, like
I have not taken any of those three, so no comments.
So what were the
DLCV,
courses again? DLCV, speech tech,
DLCV,
and
speech tech, LLM, and one more subject he said. What was the fourth one, Ganesh sir?
INLP, I think. Yeah,
uh,
National Language
INLP.
Processing.
Okay.
I can talk a
INLP
little
has
bit
not
about.
opened up yet, so I don't think anybody can give feedback on that yet. Yeah. Kunal, go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. Yes, I'll just talk about LLM. So, like the LLM course itself, like it is very enjoyable as like enjoyable in terms of learning. I would say, you might be able to like learn and grasp new things, new concepts, because of like Prof. Mitesh teaching style and these lectures. But apart from that, the courses, at least till when I was doing it, it was like the instructor was still Arun Prakash sir. So the way deep learning quizzes and end-term exams were made, the similar things were being done for LLM, and LLM also like uh, is extremely a difficult course to score, and the course inherently goes through um, describing each layer of a transformer. The course is basically like explaining the whole transformer from scratch. It demands you to implement the whole like a whole transformer. In our case, it was for a language translation task. So a whole LLM or like a transformer was supposed to be coded in using PyTorch, and that was the whole course, like from like all 12 weeks covered that, and the theory related to that. Along with it, the most a major like centerpiece of the course is the attention is all you need paper, which like the course starts with and follows throughout. Along with it, like there are sprinkled bits in between about how LLMs, or like how any transformer or like any of these newer LLMs are optimized, or how their performance was increased, how many parameters did they have, like those sort of things, as like sort of GK knowledge is also given in the course. But the very core part is like constructing the whole transformer and understanding like the mathematics of it as well. So overall, it becomes a very difficult course because it captures what DL did, and they actually told us to start the course by viewing the last 2 weeks of the DL course. And once we did that, then we could continue with the LLM, because Prof. Mitesh said without DL, we will not be able to understand this course. So that is my 2 cents on LLM.
Right. I mean, that's a great overview, and it looks like it is difficult to score too. So basically, I'll just take a minute to explain the degree level courses, the BD ones. So there are 6 courses which are interconnected and cover most of the technologies which are finding most of the DL technology that is finding applications today. So 6 courses are actually interrelated for those who are interested in like kind of doing a major within the BS in AI, right? So those 6 courses are speech tech, introduction to language processing, DLCV, or simply put as CV, and LLMs, DLP, which is a new course, and then there is of course the reinforcement learning. So I'm planning to take all 6 over the next 3 or 4 terms. So I was confused as to what is the way to take them, which one should we go first, because there are no prerequisites given in our website. So what I did was here in MIT, that's Manipal Institute of Technology, I have a friend who is a computer science professor. So I showed him all the course content, and I asked him for a suggestion. I was very interested in taking deep learning practice right away, but it's a new course, and I just saw the course content that it has 3 major chunks, and each of them cover major aspects like speech tech, LLM, and computer vision. Right, all of them is covered. So what he suggests is that out of these 6, reinforcement learning is completely going to be different, so you can take it anytime you want. But other 5, he suggested an order that is first you go for speech tech, and I'll tell why speech tech later. Speech tech and introduction to NLP are more theoretical basis, which cover all the classical approaches to solving these problems, followed by deep learning for computer vision, which covers again 2 major aspects. One is non-deep learning aspects of computer vision, and also deep learning for computer vision, with more focus on deep learning, of course. And then he says go for large language models and then deep learning practice. So I'll just repeat. He suggested speech technology NLP first, at INLP first, followed by DLCV and LLMs, and then go for deep learning practice, which will kind of make us revise the entire thing because you would have learned all the basics. Now, why I'm speaking about speech technology is that speech technology basically helps to analyze audio signals, which are 1D time series signals. I'm interested because 1D time series signals are very similar or exactly the same as the pulse waveforms or ECG waveforms that we usually get in our this thing. And initially, I was never planning to do it, but once I saw the course material, I immediately showed it to the professor I was telling about. So any thoughts on this would be welcome, guys, because this is the order currently I'm considering. Although I wanted to do DLP and LLM first because they are immediately, so many people are working on. But then I may have to wait for a little bit longer to understand the basics, I believe. Because without NLP processing techniques, the pre-processing of text and how it is done, of course, deep learning approach is different, but without understanding the basics of what worked, what failed, what is giving problems, right away jumping to LLM may be tough is what I feel. But then again, transformers are completely a different ball game, and they are able to manage so many things which, which older technology struggle.
Okay.
Ganesh,
So
the order that you are thinking, yeah. Okay, I'll just quickly say one thing, that the order you're thinking is absolutely perfect. I mean, DLP is an application of DLCV, LLM, and INLP. That will be split into three different phases of 4 weeks each. That's fine. That is true. The speech tech and all these transforms is something that I believe would be useful for your work, given whatever, given I know what work you're in the medical industry, or I believe, if I'm not wrong. So the order is fine. But the thing is, there is a risk associated with taking NLP, given that it is coming for the first time. You really cannot say what is going to be the kind of content that it will have. So it's almost like being a lab rat for the first go. I mean,
Right. Got it.
NLP is more of a risk going in as a lab rat than DLP, because in DLP we
Right.
know what is pretty much going to come. So we'll have to do the pre-processing, we'll have to make models, we'll have to execute them. So uh, to some extent we know how DLP is going to be, even without studying subjects. Like, see, I have not taken LLM, I have done DLCV, but I've barely done it. Like after week 4, week 5, it's been a nightmare. So what do you know about going into first order? I know
Yeah, I
nothing, but
think DLCV and speech tech are then my only choices left then to take in first term. And next term will be LLM and NLP, I guess.
I
So,
mean, if you want to take LLM now as well, LLM is not the first one.
yes. Sir, just one thing to add here regarding NLP. So LLM, the LLM course itself does not demand the knowledge, like the exact knowledge of NLP to be implemented into the transformer. The course actually talks about everything that happens after the NLP thing has been done, and the course does not require you to like do text processing or NLP at any stage. So it talks about once you have the input data, what do you do with input data after that? So even like even when we were doing the course for the first run, we were told that the specifics of your text processing algorithms or something of that sort, say tokenizers or something, they are not required to be known very specifically. They will give an overview of that, but a detailed knowledge of NLP is definitely not required. So that is what we were told in LLMs. I think similar requirements might be there for other courses, but yes, that is my 2 cents on like requirement of NLP knowledge for LLM.
Okay,
sir,
got it. So
one thing.
INLP and LLM possibly can be switched. Got it.
Yeah, sir, one thing I would like to add. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah,
Audible.
I just shared a link to a discourse thread on the chat box. So in that thread, there are some people who have provided feedback on some of the courses you've asked about. Please take a look at that thread. That might help you as well.
All right. I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, and there was a question there previously uh, regarding. So I think before like someone raises their hand, someone was asking about like which are the most scoring BP subjects. So like if we can take these sort of doubts as well, they will be easy. Like we can go through many electives pretty fast. I think I had just presented one table for like this sort of a thing. Yes, so the right side was feedback on how easy people found to score in these subjects. So yes, like if someone wants, you can also like take a look at these things. Okay, so Jaidev
Jaidev is
sir is
hello,
also here.
hello.
He can also.
Hey, hi everyone.
Is Ganesh still here? I think, or did he leave?
Yes, yes, I'm
He's
there.
there. He's there.
Yeah.
He's there.
Okay, Jaidev, can you provide any feedback on DLCV, LLMs, if you have taken up, or speech tech? I think your feedback on speech tech was quite famous. So if you can elaborate on those three courses, or any of those three courses.
Sorry, say the courses again. LLM,
LLM,
DLCV, and
yeah, and speech tech.
okay. LLMs is I think it's a must-have kind of course, obviously, given that it is about LLMs. It's not going to be easy. In fact, I myself haven't really finished that course. What happened is that when I took it, when it was being offered for the first time, I appeared for quiz one. And then because of some reasons, I had to basically drop out of that entire term. So I'm actually looking forward to take it again next term, because this is only the second. Sorry, folks, just give me a second. Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, it's not going to be easy. I don't think it's a course where you can get an easy grade or something, but nevertheless, it is one of those courses for which you have been pooling your higher grades. Like the way I look at it is that we did all of these easy courses throughout diploma and some courses in the degree level. We had been pooling S grades so that we could expend them against some very critical courses like, say, reinforcement learning or LLMs, which are like very crucial and critical courses. They kind of represent the cutting edge of what we're doing here. The teaching is fantastic, no question about that. The practice is tough. The studies are not, I wouldn't say they're like crazy tough, certainly not as bad as speech technology. It's a pretty rewarding course, all in all, I would say. Except don't expect the rewards to come in exactly in terms of grade. You will be pretty capable of. You will be left, in very. You will find that you're pretty capable of handling transformers and LLMs after you're done that course. The exact opposite of that is speech technology, where no matter what you do, you won't be confident that you can do anything with speech or audio at all.
Speech, what I believe mostly into those kind of like what electronics engineers do in their second or third year, I believe, analog or digital electronics. It has a lot of um, Fourier transforms and all that, right?
FFTs.
No, it doesn't. That's the tragedy. In fact, if it was that, it was at least okay. I may not be able to do speech technologies the way Siri or Alexa does it. I can do it the way things used to do it 10 years ago, but I can't even do that. It's not even that. It's like first week is maybe a smattering of tiny Fourier transform properties and then absolutely nothing. It's not even that, which is my big problem with that course. And in the end, it becomes entirely NLP. It becomes transformers. So I get it. What they are saying is speech, and speech is language, and therefore you need to know LLMs. But that's one part of it. You're not telling us anything about this, speech. Okay, let me take that back. It's not like they're not telling us anything about speech. They're telling us a ton of it. But there's hardly anything hands-on about that course. Like zero hands-on. See,
So it's
broadly,
mostly like
I think that there are two kinds of courses. There are those courses where the course is well attuned to its audience, and there are those courses where the course is not at all well attuned to its audience. Now, some examples of courses which are well attuned to their own audience are courses like, let's say, reinforcement learning. The person who works the hardest in that course is going to get slaughtered. There's no two ways about that. But you see that even that person is not going to complain really, because they know what they're up against and they take it on the chin, they take it in the stride, and they accept that it's a tough course and they move along. On the other hand, there are courses which are so badly attuned to the expectations of their audience that no matter how hard you work, it's you can't get too far ahead. You don't come away feeling smarter. And speech tech and DLCV are kind of like those, they are not at all well attuned. And, sometimes what happens is that the teaching assistants, they think that we are asking them to lower the standards of the course. No, we're not doing that. We are simply, asking them to hold us to a different standard, not a lower standard, mind you. But they say that no, because we were doing this is an MTech course. You people are undergrads, and you have to write this much, and you have to go through all of this jugglery just to understand a little thing about transformers, or you need to name certain blocks of transformers in exactly the same way that I expect them to be named. Like, what is really the difference between a fully connected layer and a dense layer, or a linear projection layer? There are 50 names I could come up with, but there's like a big, chunk of DLCV marks that depends on what you call it. That makes absolutely no sense, So those are examples of courses that are badly attuned to their audience. There, whether you're a topper or whether you're a failure, you'll still complain. There are some courses, the well-attuned one, like let's say deep learning or reinforcement learning, or even MLT for that matter. It's like no matter who you are, no matter how badly or how well you do, you won't complain, even if you're slaughtered in the course. Yeah, so that was the summary.
So I have heard a quote being attributed to you. Just want to confirm it if it's actually you. I have learned no more of speech tech now. I know no more of speech tech now than I did 4 months ago. Did you?
I did say
You were
that.
the one who
Yes.
said.
I did say that.
So so that is why I said your feedback on speech tech was famous.
While LLM is like the complete opposite, at least like in at least theory, or like the course structure which is there, they will actually ask you. I already said this previously, but they will actually ask you to code a transformer from scratch. So like one assignment would be like you code the encoder, then another one would be coding the decoder, and then soon you will be asked to like combine them and do a language translation task, and then do more models later by tweaking your currently implemented model. So it becomes hands-on, but I don't know, like when it's offered next time, how will the a course actually taken into account the grading or like marks given for those assignments? Because when it was offered first, the like not a lot of marks were offered for like I don't think any marks were offered for this programming assignment task apart from like the bonuses that were given. Um,
Yeah, that could kind of be a problem also, because the whole point of that course was to be hands-on. Because theory of transformers, if you look at it, is pretty straightforward. So, and
Yes.
again, the same problem I also see with DLCV. There is no theory basically beyond like the first 4 or 5 weeks, which is classical. See, once you learn CNNs, once you learn what the problems in computer visions are, which are detection, classification, segmentation, once you learn about that, what is there to learn? There's nothing much. The rest of it is just information you're consuming. So how are you going to evaluate students? The only way you can evaluate students now is based on how much they remember, which kind of is completely counterintuitive to the whole experience, right? LLMs, this way they were proceeding, which is like you build an encoder, you build a decoder, you build an attention layer, you compose them all together into a architecture. That makes sense. At least you're doing something. Of course, I'm not yet talking about how it should be graded. And that is important. We need to worry about how it is going to be graded, because there needs to be incentive for us to go hands-on. Exactly what went wrong with DLCV is like there's like 10 questions. 3 of them are going to be based on some Jupyter notebook, which will take you hours to debug and run, which will be written terribly. Like, think of the worst possible way to write code. And that's how it's going to be. And then there's going to be some really weird project for which you get some time or the other. The project wasn't that bad, actually. Project was good in DLCV. But that's going to add 5 marks or something to your course. There is no incentive to be hands-on. So what do you end up learning? You end up memorizing architectures. You end up it's like these this very finite set of papers that you read, or slides that you read, and if and when you remember them in exams, you are good, or otherwise you're bad. It's like that. It makes absolutely no sense.
I also feel that some of the newer areas where courses are being offered, like they also need some time to mature as a whole, because even in LLMs, I think there was only an introductory course in LLM which was offered in Stanford actually, which was just in 2021 or 2022. So it was just 2 or 3 years ago that it was offered there, and it is being offered now as well here, that we got it. And it takes some time to actually like mature all these things so that it becomes a very standard course, as like
It
some
becomes
of the
teachable. Yes, exactly.
so like our diploma courses have become much more matured since like we
Now,
took
yeah.
them and we moved into degree level. So like the same goes for like our degree level courses as well. Like 1 or 2 years down the line, they will like become much more like teachable in that sense of the word.
Correct. Like even if you'd go to whoever wrote the attention is all you need paper and ask them what's the best way to teach this, they probably wouldn't have a very good answer. It'll take them some time, and that's what I mean. You take the time to get attuned to your audience first. So yeah, I mean, one flat disclaimer that needs to be put out, regardless of how much we rant as a collective, is that this is not personal. As students, this is a very subjective opinion of how teaching and learning could be better. That's all. By the way, have we discussed? Sorry.
The disclaimer slide that we had in the very beginning.
Yes, we had the.
Oh, there was a disclaimer slide. Sorry, I did not.
Yes, we did give that again.
Oh,
for
awesome, perfect. Yeah. Have we discussed game theory, by the way, yet?
No, not yet.
Not yet. So a couple of students were asking about game theory. Anybody who has taken up game theory?
Yeah, I did. Wonderful course. Please take it.
Yeah, Akhilesh, I think you were asking for some feedback on game theory.
Thank you. I will be taking this show.
Wait, I'll also take game theory.
Wait, sarcasm or real? Wait.
Was that sarcasm or real? That's important.
No. Seriously. Absolutely not sarcasm. But in fact, let me just show you something. Whoever is taking game theory, and I cannot recommend this enough. Just okay. How do you turn a camera?
Before your camera is on already.
Your camera is on.
But before you say anything, I would like to say one thing that if you ask me, I really loved AI, the way it was taught and delivered and everything. So with that respect, would I enjoy game theory? The art of strategy.
No, it's slightly different from that respect. But basically, my point is, whoever's taking game theory, just get this book and read it before the next term starts. I wouldn't say read the whole book, but at least read the first 5 chapters. It'll do a beautiful job of priming you for that course. And it's a great course. Like, all the motivation you need is here. It's a wonderful book to read as it is. Plus, game theory as a course is a great course.
Okay.
Full disclaimer again, the instructor there is he's not the most proactive person on the planet, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Okay, so is the course team the same for managerial economics? Is it the same in game theory? Okay, got it.
But then game theory has very little scope for kind of too much back and forth. The axioms and the ideas in game theory are far more unambiguous in a certain sense than they are in managerial economics.
Okay, so
moving forward, how do we take? No, I was just saying, how do we go about it? Because like we have a lot of we have limited time, we have a lot of electives to cover actually. If someone wants information on a very specific elective, maybe we can discuss that, and because then we have time till 8.
That is what I wanted to do actually. So Pranjal just asked about big data and the algorithmic thinking in bioinformatics course. Maybe we'll take up that next. And others who have any doubts, please raise your hands. We'll go through the hands one by one. So
or if
firstly,
you want information on a course, you can just mention it on chat as well. We'll just go through it once.
So algorithmic thinking in bioinformatics, Preshta, you go first, and Rahul will take you up next. Feedback.
That course, I find it to be very interesting. The lectures are they're not boring. You can sit through them, and they're very interesting. The professor lays the premise, and then he comes up with the problem, and then you solve it. So the lectures were a joy to watch, and if you actually pay attention and do it properly, I think it's a very scoring course. But again, if you try to breeze through it, I did that during the later parts, it becomes very difficult to score. But if you understand them well, it will be easy. You need to give it time and it will reward you.
Very true. Very true. I mean, you're not going to be bored by the lectures at all. Lectures are going to be very interesting. They are very catchy if that's what you want to hear. And if you go through the concepts, all of which that is being taught, if there is clarity, then there's no one stopping you from getting marks, proper marks, entire marks. So that's one of those things.
And
If you
to
put in effort,
add on to it, the course team, from what I noticed, the last time it was offered was not that proactive, but this term it was much better.
this term as in this June term, May term.
Just as the
May
last time
24.
that it was May
Mm-hmm.
24 when it
It
was
was
offered.
very active, very active. Arup sir and Sugyani ma'am was the one who was.
Shubhendu sir and Levin sir as well.
Shubhendu sir joined in very late, in July or
Yeah.
something.
No, week 7 and
Hey,
week
what?
7
Wait a
onwards.
second. Arup is in algorithmic thinking for
ATP.
bioinformatics.
Ah,
Yeah.
Arup sir is in 18.
He's in everything.
Oh my God.
He's like
I
water.
should take that course then. Okay.
Hello.
Take that
Yeah,
course.
you can take it
It's
up.
very scoring, Jadip sir. It's
Excuse me, everyone.
nice.
Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
I
Sumit.
joined. I joined right now. As of earlier, I was busy in some work. I joined the meeting for knowing that what should be the minimum score or average assignment score for the term one to be good to go with the term two.
Yeah, this is not for that actually, because this is only for degree level students. Can you join the diploma level meeting?
Oh,
Kunal?
sorry. I thought that the students which are going to be the part of a diploma level, they are going to join this meeting.
No, sir. No, not this one. So your
Okay,
the
sorry,
meeting
sorry.
link for diploma level is posted in the chat box. I think just take it from there.
Okay,
Diploma and
sorry,
foundational
sorry.
line separate meeting.
It's my bad.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Rahul, you were saying something.
That means this term
Yeah,
he was in software testing, software engineering, and this one also, ATB also.
Who?
Arup sir.
Arup sir. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Advanced
I think
algorithms
Arup
as well.
sir, advanced algorithm as well. C programming as well. But I think C was not there in this term.
No, he was there in
it
C
was
as well.
there. It was there.
C was there this time.
I took
5
C and
courses.
Arup
Acha,
C
sir
is a
was there as
foundational
well.
level course. C is a foundational level course. It will be there every term.
Acha, that's true. That's true. Arup sir has been there in a lot of. He's been there in testing as well. Engineering also he's
Yeah.
taking.
Yeah.
Bapre. Anyway, that is why he's a
Don't
little
forget
bit.
diploma level courses. Don't forget diploma level courses too.
Ah,
So
Java.
he's an expert of Java as well. I mean,
so overall, you guys are saying that ATB is a like very good course.
ATB is a rewarding course, Pranjal. I mean, if you take ATB, if you thoroughly study it, if you give effort in it, you will get rewards.
Okay.
Not like a few other subjects. Preetadeep, say Preetadeep, say.
Yeah. So I just wish to provide a different perspective here. Whatever Rahul was saying, right? The lectures being very interesting. So before this, I had actually taken up the bioinformatics course by Professor Michael Gromiha on the NPTEL. That's a pretty old course. I mean, it looked like a pretty old course. I had done that for credit transfer, and I did not, to be very honest, I did not like it as much because it was very cut and dry course. You just like go through the lectures, they just show the algorithms, and that's it. In the lectures here for our algorithmic thinking in bioinformatics course, Professor Manikandan goes through first the historical context of what led to a particular algorithm, why do we need that algorithm, and then the algorithm itself, and then again he goes on to variations of algorithms and how they tie back into the original problem, and how they, how is computation involved in biology. That is the running theme throughout the course.
He'll he'll
And
he'll actually tease you, and he'll start with the biological theory and all that. Noise. He'll
right,
tease you with these concepts
noise.
in such a way that you will be screaming, "This is a decision tree. This is a decision tree. I need a decision tree model." So he'll lead the lectures biologically, and you would literally be screaming, "This is a problem of this algorithm or that algorithm or something of that sort." But
And
the questions
as
are
far
very
as
good.
No, that is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, feedbacks can't be better than this.
This is actually very
yeah,
fun. I mean, I enjoyed ATB more than a lot of subjects after a very long time. Very, very long time. I enjoyed CSD. I enjoyed ATB for the past 2-3 terms.
let me also put in one thing for ATB. There is one concept about this the sequencing, like global alignment, local alignment, those stuff. something this Kramer graphs. So a few of those concepts I
Yes.
felt were better taught in the previous, like the BTBN course, the Big Data and Biological Networks course. That is just my personal opinion. Even those are like, these concepts are part of quiz 1 for the ATB course, and quiz and the end term and quiz 2 for the BDBN course. So what I did was I just used to refer to the BDBN slides for these concepts in ATBI. But that is just my personal feeling. I felt that the other course, the BDBN course, dealt with those particular concepts better. So that is one thing.
Yes.
And as far as scoring is concerned, so quiz 1, I just literally overfit the question paper of the previous term. Like 60 to 70% questions were similar, not the same, of course. No questions were repeated. Let me put that out. The course team is not lazy per se, but there were similar questions. Quiz 2 was totally different, but the instructor did give us some hints saying these are the important topics, you should revise those. And most of the questions were from that. So I think going forward, the question paper, the PYQ should serve as a very good reference. And the end term, personally, I felt the end term was the most difficult of all. And I've heard this feedback from very reputable closed sources. Many people got less than 30 in the ATBI end term this time.
End
So
term less than 30% marks.
yes.
কি
Yes,
বলছিস?
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হয়েছে and let me
I was
so
not expecting
because
this.
no so those who went through the course, they scored very good. Rahul, I am sure Prishta, all of us got very good marks. People have also gotten S and A. But some, so basically what I'm saying is you need to pay attention to the live sessions, because before the end term as well, there were some topics that were pointed out by the course team, and they explicitly mentioned key the questions will be very tricky. And I agree, the questions were indeed tricky. It was like the quiz 2 was very easy, and it seemed like the course team was taking revenge for that on the end term. But yeah, I mean,
Actually,
you can still
it's
course.
that. Even I got
It was
horrible marks. I got 62 in end term. Okay, I'll be very honest. I got 62 in end term.
okay.
And it's
Sorry,
like
which course is this?
this
ATP.
ATP itself, bioinformatics itself.
Okay.
But I still
You see,
managed to get an
that is the thing.
barely marks.
Even those who did not get good marks are liking the course. So this course is
Yes.
actually good.
That is the very definition, or rather an example of what I'm calling a well-attuned course.
It's like I
Yeah.
know in the exam that I've not done this question before, but I know that if I had gone through that page and that lecture a bit more, I could have solved it.
I
And
mean,
Right.
you get bad marks, there's no one to blame but yourself.
Correct.
absolutely,
If
Exactly.
there is other people to blame but yourself, then it is a badly attuned course, essentially.
yes,
Right.
but
And
it was a
even in my
very
case,
fun.
I think I made 3 mistakes in total. But I am like, after the end term answer keys were released, I know exactly what I made, where the mistake was, and how I could have fixed that. So even after that, I
Same,
went back and
exactly.
looked at the concept. So the course was good. Like no bad remarks from I think any of
In short,
us.
no bitter feelings for this course. I mean, you would be more than happy
Yeah.
to take this again if you get to. So
Okay,
that's
some
good.
bitter feelings.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Some bitter feelings, but it's all directed to the ops team. Graded assignment questions were not corrected. Like marks were given very late. All of that nonsense. But it happens with all the courses. So nothing specific to ATB.
Correct. And you
And
see, this has nothing to do with grades as such, right? Like if you think about it,
right.
business analytics, TDS,
Yeah. Yeah.
even BDM to some extent, terrible courses if you ask me.
Yeah. People are getting more than
Scoring
100
an
out of
S
100.
in Exactly, scoring an S here is not the problem. The problem
Correct.
is that you have to go through so much unnecessary anxiety throughout the course that it turns out to be a terrible experience by the end, right? Like, so again, there people will be complaining, and not because the one natural question any other ops team or somebody, very natural question to ask is, you got an S, what are you complaining about? Because that's not the point. We are not grumbling about grades here.
But that is another thing is like, if you don't have one or two subjects every other term to get good marks in, your CGPA is going to fall so hard that you won't be able to take the risk of taking LLM or DLCV or NLP next time as well. So that is one
That
of
is
the issues.
true. That is certainly true. But you see, to be
But
frank,
then
again,
the
I know this
suffering
kind of
throughout the
goes
semester
against
is not
everything
worth it.
that. Sorry, go on.
But then suffering throughout the semester for this, that, and the other, and stressing over it is not worth it. That is another thing.
Exactly. So at one point it becomes, I mean, towards the, like, I am about one term, 8 credits away from finishing my BS, and I've sort of realized that CGPA thing is a rat race. And that's a very subjective thing. It differs from individual to individual, I agree. But let's face it, there are certain things that matter more than CGPA, and that is a good learning experience. You need to come out of the course feeling that you've accomplished something, which may not necessarily be reflected in your marks.
Yeah. And one last
Sure,
point before we move on to
I might get a B or something in one particular course, but can I tackle it when I actually encounter it in the real world? Yes. That means it's a success.
True, I agree.
Yeah. One last point I would like to add before moving on to big data. Uh, Please join in on the live sessions. I cannot stress this more. There have been, I think, 4 or 5 live sessions wherein I was like this term. I'm speaking about the algorithmic thinking in bioinformatics course. I was the only person in the meeting. The Arup sir came in, Sugani ma'am came in. They were there for 10 minutes. They asked me if I have any question. I said no, and we stopped the meeting. That was it. But joining into the live sessions gives you a very clear idea of where the course is heading. And I mean, I cannot stress this enough. I think live sessions is what distinguishes someone getting an S or maybe going beyond versus someone just staying with an A or something. Because in the live session, some of this, especially Sugyani ma'am, I'll have to mention her name here. The concepts that she has explained, I think she has gone down to the very basic level. Like even if you don't watch the lectures, some questions, the way she has explained it, they're excellent. So please join the live sessions. Don't miss them out.
Most of the questions to live session, I mean, they discuss in the live sessions itself. I mean, we have
Exactly,
gone there with
exactly,
so many
exactly. Yeah.
questions. And in multiple cases, it's just been like me and Bimlesh ji or just Pritodeep and Bimlesh ji. I also used to not join in
Prishta
most
was
of the
also there in the
sessions.
beginning. Yeah.
Preshta was also
And
there in
as
the
a matter of
beginning.
fact, as a matter of fact, they were even helpful. Like they were more. How should I put it? They were more responsive in the live sessions there on discourse. So sometimes discourse
Yeah,
replies came
they
in with a bit of.
definitely will be. I mean, if you're in BS level, I mean, it's a very funny thing. I mean, I hope nobody takes it as an offense. But the funniest part about the BS level courses is like the live sessions are almost like private tuitions. So you can literally ask
Yeah.
anything and everything. There's just 5 of you sitting there for 1 hour or 2 hours or whatever you feel like, and you can literally
No,
ask
but they
anything to them.
And
also
that is true for multiple courses, not just
Most of the
AGP.
BS courses.
no, it has become that way for BS courses because the discourse forums for those BS courses have become less active.
Hmm.
If you move all the traffic to discourse, then live sessions will be what they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But you see, look at any diploma course, the activity will be significantly higher than any BS or elective course.
No, that also accounts for the number of students that are there in the BS level as well. So as
Huh,
long as you
I
are
actually
there,
doubt that. I don't think so because you see, the number of people who are active on discourse has anyway been small.
hmm,
Stragglers are always there, lurkers are always there.
hmm.
But I don't know what is the situation in BS or the moment you finish diploma, the participation just drops like crazy. Of course, it's
The
a different
reason
process.
one reason for this is that like dedicated G spaces are also created, so like a lot more interaction also happens over G spaces. Like the same was the case for managerial economics as well. Like they didn't do much. Like I think managerial economics barely has 10 or 15 threads on discourse, but like even the instructor promoted asking all of these questions or all of these doubts over on the G space. Like let alone live sessions, everything was supposed to be cleared on G spaces itself. So inherently, if all these discussions are pushed over to G spaces, more people flock towards that, and I think the people prefer G spaces over discourse, like in terms of usability or like ease of access, because they get these
Correct.
notifications
And
over
it's,
on
and I fear
Gmails.
it's not a very sustainable thing because if you think about it, like if I want to look up something which is not tagged by term one, term two, or sorry, quiz one, quiz two, or something, that becomes difficult. Searching becomes a little tricky. So, I mean, in other words, discourse is just generally a better platform which is suited to discussions. Chat is chat, completely
Right.
different modalities, right? So, anyway, I mean, that's a different problem entirely.
I mean, I was saying that this might be one of the reasons why like
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
BS has like a significantly lesser interaction on discourse.
Yeah.
One more doubt I have, whether they are making DLP as BP.
Both. It's BPBS or whatever it is. It's both. BPPT
BPPD.
both.
Okay.
BPPS. It's BPPT both. Deep learning practice is both.
I'm just hoping they don't mess up with this fantastic course.
Prishna, can you mention about the book once? The book and
The
the
book
lack
for
of slides?
ATB? Yes, you will have to find that on your
Yes.
own on the internet. It's not publicly available, copyright. Uh, the issues, and the same is with the slides. The slides are not shared to us, but of course, there are students who have taken the initiative to take screenshots and compile them, so you can always find them.
Right. So yeah, I think that would be one quote unquote bad thing about the ATBI course. They do not give slides. Apparently, there is some copyright issue or something. They don't share the slides, even though the slides are used in the lectures.
I wouldn't say that's a bad thing about the course. It's just a hiccup. Just a little extra work on our side.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
But then there's a person who has created a folder of the screenshots of lectures. I'm not sure if
Exactly.
you guys have it.
There are
So
multiple
we'll
people
try to
who have done
Rahul
that.
bhai, share it, please.
we'll try to pass it on. Yes, Pranjal. We'll try to pass it on, send it over to you guys so that you can go through there as well.
Yeah. Okay. Quickly
Also,
moving on to IBD and finishing that. Yeah. Sorry. Sorry. Go ahead, Kunal.
just one last thing, so we can finish this whole session with IBD. Just one last thing to add is, like, there are some courses in a degree level which have this record of people not having achieved S grade. I think one is SPG, if I'm not wrong. SPG doesn't have
No, no,
any.
no,
No,
no.
no, no,
This
no, no,
time,
no, 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 no.
this time, many people got it.
This time, Ganesh sir, were you the one? Was it Ganesh sir who
I
got
also
S?
got S.
Okay, so is this the first batch which is getting S's? Because I think it used to be a thing where S was not being given, or like not achievable in SPG or something like that.
Yep.
Hey, in that case, if I want to do my course improvement, can I retake SPG?
No, but okay. So A to S won't help much, right? So if you already have something like an A, that A to S won't help you
Yeah,
much.
actually, it will help me
For course
because
improvement, you should.
it turns out that I am exactly like, I wouldn't call it a threshold really, but if I don't get another S, I'll probably be like above 9 point something. It might help me. Who knows?
Someone was talking that grades are not that important. Couple of minutes back.
Sorry?
Nothing.
Nothing.
अरे बताओ यार, come on.
Like
you were saying grades are
Oh, I
not
see. Good point. Good point. So yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I won't live the rest of my life regretting bad CGPA, but if I have a chance, why not?
Correct.
True. You can get it. I mean, if you are planning to take ATB, you'll get an S. That's for sure.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, that's a subject wherein if you give effort, you'll get something out of it. So you.
No,
So
I'm
in
certainly
that aspect,
taking
it's
that. Given all the stuff I've heard so in the last 10 minutes, I'm certainly taking that course.
in that aspect, I would say it is quite a lot like AI. So if you understand the algorithms, if you can run through them, you'll get S. That sort of a course.
Achha, if
Anyway,
In terms
I'll
of
quickly
difficulty
move
as
on to
well,
IBD.
it's as difficult as AI.
I'm not really, no.
As difficult as
Okay.
AI, no.
Slightly easier, perhaps.
If
Sorry?
you're enjoying it, yes. I mean, I loved studying both of them. So both of them seems very similar to me. Now, there's one more thing. If they want to make your life hell in ATB, they can. If they
They're
want
choosing to
make
have
it
it, let us have it easy, is it?
they if they want to make it difficult, they can easily make it difficult. That's for sure.
Okay.
They try to let us have it easy, but just the way
There
we
are
got a
certain
reality.
topics.
I think.
Yeah, there is.
Okay, go ahead, Preeta.
Yeah, go ahead. No, yeah, you can
So I
finish.
think
I'll keep
another
mum for the
reason for
next 5
that
minutes.
was that ATP was offered for the second time right now, and you can see that courses more times they're offered and the difficulty slightly goes up because you have access to PYQs. So that is another reason we had it easy, maybe.
Maybe, hopefully, but if we try to, inverse that psychology, NLP should be a piece of cake, but I don't think it will.
NLP has 50% from the final exam.
So that's the same for most of the papers now.
No, 35 to 40.
I don't know. We had industry with 40 weightage. We had DLCV with 50 weightage.
Big data, big data OPP has 50%. I
Okay,
think we should
yes,
move on
yes,
to big
yes.
data now.
If we are moving to that, please let's just discuss IBD and maybe compare it with design thinking a little bit if anyone can help me out in that, because I need help
Yeah.
choosing one of those two. So yeah, please go on. IBD.
So yeah, IBD. See, the lectures are. I mean, content wise, I would say they are good because he's not the faculty giving the lectures is not a professor per se. He's an industry person with a like he has a vast experience on this topic. So and he joins in regularly in the weekly live session. So that is another good thing about the course. So any technical topic, any like you can go into deep discussions with him. He will not mind, especially in the live session. So that is one of the few good things about the course. Uh, coming to the negatives, I would say the lectures do not help you for the assignments. They do not help you for the exam because the lectures are completely theoretical, and whatever you do as part of the course will involve Google Cloud Platform, and everything is practical. So the assignments are completely based on GCP, and the OPP is also based on GCP. So and lectures do not teach GCP; they just teach big data concepts in general. So that is where you will be lacking. The course team, and they do not have any practical tutorials even. So the course team has compiled a list of third-party YouTube videos and tutorials. They just share that reference document in the beginning of the term, and you are expected to go through those videos. But honestly, I haven't found them useful. I have what I have done is I have asked people who have done IBD before me, and they have helped me out with most of the things. And even those who have done IBD later on, people like, so this is what happens. Like the previous batch helps the next batch. This is how IBD passes, like as far as I know. And there is no quiz one, there is no quiz two because the OPP itself is 50% of the weightage. Yeah, Rahul says this is business, exactly. Yeah, so the OPP itself has 50% weightage, and it is a 4-hour OPP. It's a very intense OPP, but like that OPP is like almost exactly similar, except for certain logical parts. It's almost exactly similar to what you will do as part of week 7 or week 8 graded assignment. So there is a producer that will produce some data, and then you have Kafka wherein you store that data, like, and then there's a consumer. You have to run Spark streaming on that entire thing. So yeah, that like implementing the OPP question is pretty straightforward, but sometimes the logic that they ask you to do is it's very difficult. Luckily they are very lenient. So one good thing about IBD is it's all subjectively evaluated. It's like quite lenient. So yeah, you getting marks is very easy, but people have very, like, many people have reservations about how much they've actually learned from the course, given the fact that lectures deal with one thing and the and what you do practically is completely different. So yeah, that is how I would put the courses. If you want an easiest, maybe go for IBD, but yeah. And also, yeah,
And
last point about the ET, the end term exam, most of the questions get repeated from previous terms. So a 90 plus in the ET should not be a difficult thing to go for. Yeah, go ahead, Rahul.
and compare it with design thinking.
Yeah, I haven't done it. Anybody who has done design thinking?
Eto, Kunal.
I have. So for for design thinking, the majority of your time goes into like the project itself. The scoring of the course is similar to SPG, given like the same course team is there. Specifically, I think Sham sir will only be there this term as well for DT. So like scoring is similar to what happens in SPG, from the perspective of end terms and quizzes. But most of your time goes in this projects, and projects shouldn't be that hard to score. The uh, like an average, I also wrote it on our like groups or something, that the average project gets or manages to get around like 70 to 80. Like when we were doing it, our average scores were in the range of 80 to 90, like because we were like fulfilling all the documentation and those sort of requirements. So like that is from a scoring perspective. So but what happened is, like, even I enjoyed the course a lot, because specifically because of interaction from Prof Bala. But like in the end, I was barely able to manage an A in that course. So I was doing good, but like, and I learned a lot as well. But uh, the grade in the end is like around an A, and even our course topper, um, um, uh, like they were also not in the S category. They were also like around a score of 85, 86. So that is the condition for scoring in DT, I would say. So like getting an A is doable, but like S is very difficult. So like take that as you want and select between IBD and DT.
I guess it's safe to say that we should throw DT out of the window for now, because I was really hoping to get DT, but now if the first warning that you had given me was Sham sir is handling it, that means it's not easy. The second thing, it's similar to
Exactly,
SP.
like you won't be able to score more in quizzes, that is for sure. Like even we used to like study and go, and there were always like some curveballs or something, and we wouldn't be able to answer some of those questions, and we would end up getting it wrong. And like my course scores were always around like 75 to 80 or 75 to the 85 range, not more than that. I couldn't like even reach the 90 mark with DT quizzes. So that was the situation. With like the mainly the problem with scoring is in the quizzes or like exams itself. Like projects are still doable.
And then projects has 40% weightage, but then if you're saying that getting S is quite difficult for you, then that means a lot for the rest of us.
Why
So
don't you take DLP, Rahul?
I am taking DLP. I'm taking DLP.
So you
I'm
will be
taking
completing your BP credits, right?
Rahul doesn't need that, I
mm,
think.
BP. I need one subject for BP. BD, I'm done.
No. Do you require that? I mean, you joined it before those requirements came in, right?
No, I joined in
BPBD,
after
they don't.
After.
Oh,
September. I joined.
you started your degree in September.
Ah,
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Just want to pitch in one question: whether S is achievable in DL?
yes, but you have to work very hard. Very hard. No, it is actually achievable if you know how to solve the questions, and if they don't want to make your life difficult, then S is achievable.
Pranjal, if you're taking DL, please text me. Huh? I'll also take up DL this time. I'll end my BS with a DL, with this DL.
Yeah, but how come you haven't taken it yet?
We
It
don't
was
have
not
that core.
mandatory.
For you. Oh, yeah.
It's not
Right.
mandatory, and I was trying to similar to your condition. I'm trying to keep my CGPA afloat. I just managed to cross 9 this time
Okay. So
with the
you're one of
reputation of
those
PTSA.
like 100 or so people who narrowly escaped that requirement, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Very
But
good.
I will still do DL. So like as many people have said, doesn't look good to have a lopsided transcript. I
Well,
will.
it's a good
I've done
course.
with all other. Yeah, it's a great course. It's an essential course. I'll do it. I
Yeah.
don't care about the marks at this point. I'll do it. I'll repeat maths 2 on the side just to ensure that nothing too bad happens with my CGPA.
It's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
You don't need to repeat maths at all, but do take the course. Yes.
I'll also stop recording now. For now, I think
Yeah,
that
wait,
is
hold
this
on.
is
Sorry, just 1 minute. Kunal, before we end the recording, do we have any more slides left over? I think the ending slides. Do we have anything?
okay. Just I'll
Maybe
just
just go over the slides once so that they come in the recording. And
okay, sure.
I will also mention that there are a series of feedback threads that have been going on. I think since January 2023 or May 2023 term of the degree level, and many people have expressed their feedback on the courses they have taken up. So for those who are watching the recording later, or anybody who are here whose queries have not been answered, please feel free to take a look at those discourse threads. I hope most of your queries will be answered there if you have any specific question regarding the courses. Yeah, I think we can stop the recording. Oh yeah, of
I
course.
think
Hey, wait. Oh, yeah, show the memes. Come on. Yeah, you need to do the assignments on your own. Yeah.
ChatGPT actually hurt me in managerial economics this time.
It gives all sorts of wrong answers sometimes.
No. The trouble is, it gave me good answers, and I was just, okay, I got it. And then the quizzes, I got.